Dating single moms, not recommended for men.
Being single in your 30s is really tough. I hear you. I did it. I was single through most of my 30s. I dated someone for like 2 years of them. It is hard when everyone is getting married that you know and people you don't know because you see it on social media or wherever. What I did to be happy is literally choose things every single day that made me happy. So maybe it was grabbing coffee from my favorite coffee shop, or it was going for a walk and listening to my favorite podcast. And I also increased my friend group. And so I didn't just have very close friends. I had acquaintances who were also single and we had a good time together. So we would go out. I just built up my social calendar so much that I didn't feel like I was missing out and I had things to look forward to. And I think that's a huge part of it. I'm not going to tell you the sadness or loneliness is going to go away because it definitely creeps up. But the more you build a life that makes you happy, the less lonely it gets. And I am still single, by the way. And I hear you. You've got this and you're going to be just fine.
There comes a time in life when you draw a line for yourself and hang up the dating cap and just live your life. My take on being with someone with children, and this is just my opinion, but if it fits, why not? As far as pursuing someone with kids, or anyone at that matter, better to stay alone and wait until she or he comes along. If in fact that's your destiny.
Certain realities that women who are dating who have a child and there's not a man that is present, okay, whether that means a single mother or a divorced mother, I just learned that there's a difference between the two. There are harsh realities, and I'm going to get into it in this video. Number one, it is limited options, okay? A lot of men don't prefer to date women with children. It's just, or with even with a child. It's just the reality of it. So we have to be mindful of the fact that our options are limited. Number two, your conduct in how you deal with men is very important. You now have children watching you conduct yourself in your relationships, making certain decisions. So it is very important for you to be aware of how you conduct yourself in the relationship. Because there's a child that's present, you have to be very careful about the men that you bring around your children. I mean, that is number one. You have to be more careful than you've ever been about who you choose to bring into your life.
If it's a gamble marrying a woman today, how much greater is the gamble with a woman that has baggage from a previous marriage gone sour? It's not a matter of a man being loving to that child. It's about the woman wanting your financial help. Just don't discipline her child. Don't tell her child what to do. It's about that child not giving that man respect because after all, you're not the father even though he took him in and raised him as his own. The man seems to always get screwed. So, no to single mothers.
I find it really stupid when I see men trying to make it a point that single mother standards are way too high. But wouldn't you think that a good mother or a good woman, period, would want the best for her children and want the best around her children? So you best believe that my standards are going to be through the roof. At this point, my standards are so high, I think I'm looking for Jesus Christ himself. Because, baby, I devote my life to being a mother and being a good woman so I can be a good mother. So yes, if you want to mess with me on that type of level, you need to prove to me why you are worthy of my time and why you are worthy to be in my child's presence on a consistent basis. Because I'd rather be alone forever than have my time wasted. So let me just make this clear. Don't take me being a single mother with a grain of salt. Just know that I work my ass off and I'm tired, okay? But I work my ass off as I should. So if you come into my life, you should be making things easier, not harder. And that goes for any relationship. But I'm quick to leave all types of situations.
Dating any woman is dangerous enough without throwing a child that is not yours into the mix. Their kids are now your kids. You will be expected to pick them up from school. You'll be budgeting for 3 or 4 instead of 2. Your schedule will depend on the kids because they're your responsibility now. However, if you decide to discipline them because they're being terrors, she'll let you know that they're not your kids in a second.
Hey, we're back in the school pickup line. Obviously, I spend my time making TikToks, but what do you do?
I wonder how long it'll be before the school realizes I don't even have kids that go here. Or that I don't even have kids.
Hey, we're back in the school pickup line. Obviously, I spend my time making TikToks, but what do you do?
I'm just thankful that your kid doesn't go to the same school as my son because I pride myself on being the hottest mom in the pickup line.
Hey, we're back in the school pickup line. Obviously, I spend my time making TikToks, but what do you do?
Dad, I think I need to go back to school.
You already graduated. You don't need to go back to school.
Lately I just feel stupid.
Hey, we're back in the school pickup line. Obviously, I spend my time making TikToks, but what do you do?
I didn't know we were supposed to dress like that for school pickup. I've been wearing too much clothes this whole time.
Hey, we're back in the school pickup line. Obviously, I spend my time making TikToks, but what do you do?
Oh, I don't do much. I'm pretty
Lazy.
So we showed up to the school drop-off line, but there was no school today. Whoops.
Any man that's dated a single mother finds out soon enough that they are finishing in last place in her list of priorities. The kids always come first. Her recreational segs and procreational segs days are over with. The children never go away. Never make someone a priority when all you are to them is an option. Single moms start an interaction with you with the viewpoint of how can you make their life easier, better. The problem is, they don't want to reciprocate. In fact, they are going to make your life harder by being a single mom.
We think single motherhood has been around for a long time. It really hasn't. This is a new concept, and they use marketing campaigns to get you to accept it. 1950s, 5%. Not a lot of children born to unwed mothers. We get to 2012, we're almost dang near half. Some communities, 70% of the children born to unwed mothers. Right now, the father absence is a crisis in America. I'm telling you this for a reason, because the guys that want to be fathers, probably half of you, will not even raise your kid from 0 to 18. The systems are already in place for you to not be in that home. So what does that lead to? Kids that grow up without a father, 4 times as much to be raised in poverty, 7 times likely to be a teenage pregnancy victim, more likely to experience child abuse. That's normally because single mother has moved in another man. Child obesity. Are we seeing this today? 2 times as likely to suffer from obesity. 73% of the prison inmates were raised in single parent households, primarily single mothers.
The issue a lot of women overlook is that all their issues are based only on the men they were involved with. You keep going after the same type of man with those habits, you're going to have the same results. The ones that constantly want to have a good time and go wild are the ones who want someone after their fun is over. Let the independent women figure it out. They don't need a man. Let them be with their girlies and pretend they are happy. Men, don't fall for it. Do you? If you want to date, look for a feminine woman who will devote herself to you and the relationship, will actually work with you and let you lead her.
Why is it that women are waiting till they're in their 30s to get married? Well, do you want to know what the responses from these surveys are for why they say that they're waiting until they're in their 30s to get married? What do you think that they are, if you had to guess?
Because they're waiting for the right person.
Well, they also say they're waiting to find somebody who's equally yoked with them and has financial stability. And when they get married, they're getting married to men generally who have more resources than they have. And that's not always the case, right? But they tend to settle when they're in their 30s. And in their 20s, they're looking for the Omega Chad or whatever the fuck you want to call it. They seem to be looking for that. And this is just what the data shows over and over again.
If we look at relationships closely, they are all about power struggles. Women tend to use the notions of love to keep men in their control. Having kids with these women allows them to use men's resources more openly and to their advantage. And women are very shady when it comes to their resources. I have yet to meet a woman who is generous with what she earns or has inherited. As for single mothers today, they think they settled for their kid's father. They get 100s of likes and dozens of messages on dating apps every day. Guys are pursuing them, trying to take them out constantly. None of the guys stick around, but they think they just haven't found the right one. The guys they want have too many options to settle down with a single mom, but those same guys will gladly have a couple single moms to have over 1-2x a week, while they are looking for someone without red flags. And yet, they expect men to work hard all their lives and just hand over the money to these women who only occasionally spread their legs apart for them in order to keep these men hooked to them. Men are now realizing this and not giving in to this manipulation, as much as they used to in the past. Men have had enough of the tests and the games, and have been burnt far too often to know what women truly want. The reality is that dating women who are single and have children is a dangerous game altogether. One of the most important reasons for not dating such women is that it's obvious they've made some horrible decisions in the past. She's made some extremely awful decisions in the past, which is the main deterrent to dating a single woman with children. It goes without saying that you need to consider a person's history and past choices. Depending on the situation, the decisions they made in the past are a good indicator of the decisions they will make in the future and the quality of those decisions. So, it's acceptable if the woman was married to a man who served in the military. It wasn't her fault. She didn't choose poorly. It was about circumstances. But if she just slept with the wrong kind of man, and is now a single woman with kids to take care of, do you really want to be associated with someone who has shown such terrible judgment? Would you be surprised if they continued to show such poor judgment in other situations? So let the past and present actions of a person give you some idea of what they may do in the future. You can tell a lot about a woman from her past. Nothing could be worse for a child than for its mother to divorce one of its parents and fail to offer a nurturing, secure, and safe home for the child. At the most fundamental level, they have already failed. Another reason why dating a single woman with kids is not an ideal thing to do is because her obligation to care for and protect her child will always come first. So, there is no incentive to get into a relationship with such a woman. To put it another way, in such a relationship, you can never expect to be anything other than second choice, at most. You will always come last for such a woman. In my opinion, you already know what's going to happen. You won't even play second fiddle. You'll be the one who does the cleanup. You will serve in that capacity. You will be far down the list of priorities in a single woman's life if you become involved with her, and she has already shown bad judgment in the past. The fact that she will likely experience financial difficulties is another major reason to avoid getting into a relationship with a single woman with kids. She's going to make bad decisions in life. She won't give a damn about anyone else in her life, and she'll struggle financially. Furthermore, the ability to manage one's appetite is hardly ever an issue. When it comes to money, it's all about control and discipline. If you can exercise those two traits, you can also become wealthy. However, no matter how much money you make, if you can't perform those two things in that order, you'll lose it. The point I'm trying to make is that a woman who has kids and is not an earning partner with her is going to be desperate. So as soon as you enter into a relationship with her, she's going to throw that financial desperation onto you and expect you to completely comply with her and use your wealth and resources on her and her children. And you know what? No matter how hard you try to love those children, she's never going to completely let you accept them, because once she's been through a divorce, she won't have that sense of familial stability in her mindset anymore. It won't ever be enough for her. Such a woman essentially loses sight of the bigger picture. She was unable to see the big picture before when she got into a relationship with the guy with the tattoos, and she will be unable to see the bigger picture again. She has a child with someone, but she is unable to raise it, support it, care for it, or offer it a better life because of her relationship. I believe society has to do a little more to educate them and assist them in preventing situations where they end up depending on other people. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.